Let me die. Perhaps one of the most heartbreaking things a 9-year-old could ever say to his own mother. The doctors at Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania had delivered terrifying news. Your son can't breathe on his own. If we don't put him on a ventilator, he's going to die. They told her that I would not be able to eat, drink, or even talk anymore. I likely wouldn't survive more than a couple of months, and what time I did have left would be spent attached to a loud, obnoxiously large breathing machine. My younger self couldn't imagine life like that. Using a wheelchair was bad enough. Being profoundly disabled, so different than all the other children, was bad enough. Taking away everything else fun was, well, so horrifying that I pleaded with them to let me go. My mother's a stubborn woman. You have to be when your child is disabled. She can argue better than any lawyer I've ever met, with an uncanny ability to face anyone in any system if it meant saving me even an ounce of pain. She's someone who taught me a valuable lesson. There are few inaccessible situations. You can overcome any obstacle if you look at the situation the right way. On December 15th, 1989, her 38th birthday, my mom gave the go-ahead to the doctors to give me a tracheostomy, resulting in the plastic tube you see in my throat today. Against my wishes, she saved my life. Sometimes, you have to be saved from yourself. Recovery was hard. I spent a lot of time staring at an oversized clock on the wall of the intensive care unit that I was being held in for many months. The beeps and the alarms of the ICU kept me up at night. Couldn't tell you how many times I cried from pain versus how many tears I shed from feeling alone. The only thing strong enough to overcome the immense pain was the overwhelming sense of loneliness, a deep hopelessness that I was on my own and no one would ever want to be around me again. One day, a recreational therapist brought a huge white filing cabinet on wheels to my bedside. She explained that it was a computer with a video game connected to all the other children's hospitals around the world. In it, you could wander around a majestic island with waterfalls, unicorns, and a lot of bright, beautiful sunshine. Scared, but intrigued, I logged on to the game and met a lovely pink star hanging out underneath the biggest waterfall. We talked for hours. We shared what we were going through, how mean the doctors were, how nice the nurses were being to us, and how badly we missed our pets. She quickly became my refuge, my safe harbor in a hurricane of despair. I returned to our place of solitude underneath the waterfall by the biggest palm tree on the island as often as I could, even for days after that star stopped shining. In the end, a tiny human on the other side of a virtual paradise did for me what no other human could have possibly done at the time. She made me believe there was hope. Sometimes, what you need is someone to make you believe in tomorrow. A decade later, I met a beautiful woman on a black nightmare steed. Her name was Morgan. Now, Morgan was what us kids used to call the bomb.com. She was beautiful, witty, charming, intelligent, and way better at slaying dragons than I could ever be. You know that moment when you meet someone who's going to change the rest of your life, but you just haven't figured out how yet? Yeah, well, for me, that was her. Time slowed, birds chirped, angels sang, and every other cheesy Hollywood cliche you can think of. She was fierce, perhaps the strongest woman I had ever met. She was confident in herself. She was confident for others. She forced me to come out of my shell and reconnect with my old friends, ones that I still have today. She encouraged me to chase my dreams, which led to the labors of love that I've been privileged to share with the world. And I never once won an argument with her. She had a certain way about her that, even if you were wrong, you felt comfortable admitting it, because you knew that ultimately she just wanted what was best for you. We did everything together. We spent all day messaging each other, all night playing. She even surprised me with a house one day. We moved in together at 143 Dream Lane. 143 was her way of saying, I love you. It was, to me, exactly and totally the opposite of everything the doctors had told me to expect my life to be. That was just what happened inside Ultima Online. The first time we physically met, I was so shy that I couldn't even get a pet name or a sweet nickname out of my mouth. She was kind. She gently kissed me on the lips and whispered, "Hey you," a moniker that I still carry with me forward today as something that will always mean so much. Morgan and I would go on to live very happy lives for the next 3 years. The relationship itself would be one of 2 life-altering, unexpectedly wonderfully romantic periods of my life. So far, anyway. That began in a video game and carried on to the real world. Sometimes, you have to go through the really bad times to get to the really good times. I'm grateful to my mother for saving my life, and I'm just as grateful to video games for enriching my life. If it wasn't for the virtual world that we all love so much, I would never have found the people who shaped me into the man I am today. I'm happy to accept the South by Southwest Gaming Champion of Change Award, because it serves to recognize those of us who are doing their best to broadcast a little light in our world that is so often full of darkness. If you want my advice on how to live the best life you possibly can, I can give you 3 suggestions. 1. Find people who will be there for you and save you from yourself when it's necessary. 2. Find something that gives you hope. It helps you believe that tomorrow just might be a better day. 3. Find a good day from your past and compare it to one of your darkest days. It's in this that you can remind yourself that although things themselves don't always get better, you yourself get better. You yourself level up with experience. You unlock the special abilities deep inside your soul that enable you to take on the world.